It's safe to say when it comes to Madam Web, the newest Marvel movie in the Sony Spider-Man universe, people did not have very high expectations. From the moment they saw the trailer, it looked like it was going to be cringe. It looked like it was going to be bad. But I think a lot of people at least expected some of the critics to try to do anything they could to defend this movie. That has not been the case. In fact, it just continues to get worse. We thought it would do poor at the box office. We thought it was going to get destroyed by the audience, but even the critics are absolutely savaging this movie right now. You can see Madam Web, a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And ironically, that's not even the worst when it comes to this Sony Spider-Man universe, because Morbius still does exist. Morbius sits at 15%. Madam Web quickly approaching that record. However, it should be noted that the same people that wrote Morbius also wrote Madam Web, so they're kind of chasing their own record. And when you go and look at the audience score, when you actually go to all audience, it's sitting there at 43%. Not a whole lot of people have actually rated it at this point in time, but holy shit. Madam Web nearly sets new low for Sony's Spider-Man universe at Rotten Tomatoes. Marvel's latest film, Madam Web, receives negative reviews from critics and an underwhelming Rotten Tomatoes score. While critics praise some of Madam Web's better traits, including its action sequences, I've actually seen too much praising going on. I've seen coping. I've seen desperate cope from places like the Mary Sue or Black Girl Nerds trying to promote this bullshit. That's about all that I've seen from it. Many weren't a fan of its story or some of the performances, particularly Dakota Johnson's effort as the title character. I mean, this thing's getting wrecked. Let's listen to just a couple of these reviews. According to the Daily Beast, on the basis of Madam Web, however, Sony's Spider-Man universe is now completely lifeless and in no need of resuscitation. Gizmodo's review said there aren't any exciting comic book teases to break down or satisfying emotional achievements to latch onto. It's a story that only makes sense if you don't think about it, filled with performances that aren't very engaging, and then it ends. This is one of my favorite ones. Carla Hay of Culture Mix lumped in Madam Web with the MCU's latest superhero film, The Marvels, calling them the Dumb and Dumber of female-led Marvel Comics superhero movies. Holy fuck. And a lot of people obviously talking about what it's going to do with the box office. The projections have only gotten worse. When we heard it was supposed to do about $30 million over a 6-day weekend, because obviously it opened a little bit earlier for Valentine's Day, there's a holiday on Monday, things like that. Look what it is now. 6-day opening weekend range, $18 to $28 million. There's a chance that this thing doesn't crack $20 million on a long, extended weekend. As bad as you thought this was going to be, it just continues to get worse. Rotten Tomatoes scores for films by the Madam Web writers, very consistent. A lot of rough ones there. And I'll say again, right? Just like I say whenever we see any of these things on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't take critic scores as the end-all, be-all. I've loved some movies that critics have absolutely hated. I've hated some movies that critics absolutely loved. But it all kind of comes down to the audience and who it's made for and things like that. Typically, when we see movies like this that are kind of heavy on the, we really want to see representation and girl power and things like that, oftentimes we see the critics latch onto that and defend it and all these things, because those are really things that are made for them more than it's made for normal audience members. That has not been the case so far with this movie. It is getting eviscerated by nearly everybody right now. And like I said, when you go to the all audience, it's not looking great for them either. We all thought Madam Web was going to be cringe. We all thought it'd do bad. We all thought it'd be a box office flop, but no one was ready for just how bad it sounds like this movie actually is. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.